And what do we got now? We got ourselves another checklist. Celebrate the checklist. Celebrate our checklist. Checklist. Hey there, y'all. Bunkle here. Hope you've been having a great day. I hope every day is a blessed day for you and y'all. So, today we're going to be breaking bricks again. In this episode, this episode of called Breaking Bricks. These are 1990 Topps baseball cards. So, very cool stuff. And by the way, these are great cards. I know for sure that some of the better, like super duper ooper stuff we're not going to find in this, like the Frank Thomas no name on front. That was only in cello packs. Oh well. There's also a bunch of blacklists or partial blacklist cards, as they call them. I think those were also all released in cello packs, but that's okay. I mean, lots and lots and lots of other great cards can be found in here. Lots of superstars from the junk wax era. I mean, of course, the Frank Thomas no name on front and a PSA10, $170,000. Okay, so big difference from the one with his name where it's PSA10 is $57. So big, huge difference. All right. PSA9 of the no name is $17K. So, still not too shabby in a 9 or even lower than that, because those are very tough to find. Let's see, what else? In a PSA10, outside the Frank Thomas era card, and there are other blacklist cards, although I don't think they've all been graded or, they've been shown the same significance as the Frank Thomas, because his whole name is missing. But the Ken Griffey Jr., okay, this is a second-year card. PSA 10, most recent sales, almost $400. Chili Dog Davis, seriously? $235? Now that's something. And that was not too long ago, a couple months ago. And I'm recording this in August 2024, so just a couple months back. A Chili Davis was sold at $235. Jack Morris, Sparky Anderson, Kurt Schilling, all somewhere around $200. And then in the 100 to 150 range, you got Glavine, Frank Robinson, Wade Boggs, and Dave Parker. So all of those players definitely, you know what? In a 10, they're great, but considering even in a 9, okay? As I mentioned, the Frank Thomas, $17K. Partial blacklist, that's $850, so in a 9, not bad. Then you have the Frank Robinson. Check out that drop, okay? You're talking about 100 to 150 down to $35. So even in a 9, it's not that bad. Then you got Ripken, Yount, Brett, and Raines in the $20 to $25 range. And yeah, because of the number of cards that have been submitted from that Ken Griffey being the highest valued outside the Frank Thomas, at around $400. In a 10, in a 9, it drops all the way down to 13. So there's that. What else are we going to be looking for in this box? Okay, rookie cards. Okay, don't call me Joey. I'm Albert Bell. Frank Thomas, as I mentioned. Bernie Williams, Yankee legend there. Juan Gonzalez, Sammy Sosa, John Wetland, great closer. And Larry Walker, Hall of Famer. So let's get breaking this brick. I think it's time. Ooh, fresh brick. I mean, not that anybody would really go through this to pull out anything that was good beforehand. And you see the curvature there. You see, got that, like the brick curve. It's one of those things that they say happen in bricks over time as they start to curve out. I found that to happen in packs also, but who am I to say? I've just seen it. All right, let's get a good stack out there and move this to the side. And I'm going to use the top of the box for right now to put any cards that need some frappers, which I have on the side, and top loadies, which I have on the side. Starting off with Glenn Davis. Great looking card there. Looks like a minor, maybe. I can't tell. Dan Plesac, Kirby Puckett. All right, starting this off right. Hall of Famer already. Stan Javier, Von Hayes, Donnie Baseball. All right, sweet. Roy Smith, Dennis Rasmussen, Gary Sheffield. All right, very nice. Should I frapper? I'm wondering. I don't think so. I'm going to keep them in the box so you can go to a team pack. Bill Swift, Mike Moore, Jim Gutt, Kevin McReynolds, Lou Whitaker, Tom Kelly, Mike Witt, Mike Scott, Mike Boddicker, Doug Jones, Nick Isaski, Chris Sabo, Randy, second-year Randy, Very nice. Really nice shape, too. Perfect. Jack Morris, another Hall of Famer there. Dante Bichette. Kevin Elster. Paul Molitor. All right. Hall of Fame loaded. Lance Parrish. Todd Burns. Dave Anderson. Steve Searcy. Carlos Quintana. Bill Duran. Ron Kittle still hanging out in the league. And Brian Fisher. All right, let's get these frappered up. I don't think there's anything that I would immediately top load here. I don't think so. All right, get lots of frappers out and good to go. I'm like crossing myself up here. I had to figure out how to organize this better so when I'm breaking a brick, I'm like not crossing my arms back and forth and back and forth. I'm making all sorts of confusion here. Should probably put the box on that side. That would make more sense for right now, wouldn't it? I think so. I'll figure this out. All right, let's move this over to there. I think that makes more sense. And I can move those over to there. And I can move that on that side of the bump. Because I got table got a bump. All right, Randy Johnson. I can go up there. He goes on the Wall of Fame. Look, now I could be righty and lefty. I could put cards up with my right hand. Oh, well, I shoved all those back. Donnie Baseball moved Jack Morris out of the way. All right, we got Kirby Puckett. He's going to go up next to Randy. I think that's a good place. All right, there we go. All righty. Now, these were the ones I went through? I think so. Think so. Think so. Yep, I think so. Let me move all these off way to the side, and we'll keep going with these. We got Steve Olin, Jeff Parrott, Jesse Barfield, Don August, Todd Worrell, Dan Pasquale, Greg Minton, Robin Yount, Mike Stanton, Bruce Benedict, John Smiley, Gus Polidor, Sergio Valdez, Mike Smith, Lance Blankenship, Robin Yount again, Junior Felix, Ramon Martinez, Pedro's brother, Andy Van Slyke, Mike Scott, great pitcher, John Franco, Mark McGuire, got Big Mac, nice, Will the Thrill Clark, very cool, Andre Dawson, Tracy Jones, Larry Sheets, Freddie Lynn, the Tigers there, Joey Albert Bell, rookie card. Should I frapper him? Nah, I don't think so. I'll keep him going. Benito Santiago and Clay Parker. All right, let's get those off to the side. Get some frappers on this next stack. Uh, 1990s, I mean, you are talking dead center in many people's eyes of the junk wax era. There were millions and millions and millions of these cards printed, produced, however you want to call it. There's so many out there. I mean, getting a brick of these definitely is not all that expensive. And I like breaking bricks, as I've said before, as opposed to just buying the set, you know, because I get to open it and go through it. And in some ways, bricks could be maybe more fun in some ways than packs, because you get a lot more cards, that's for sure. And condition is typically better. I mean, towards the ends, towards the edges. You see, if I take this out right now, I guarantee you that last card is going to be mangled. Let's put that down. I'm going to grab another stack here. Put those two down there. I'm going to go through that one first. But most interested in the last card to see what that looks like, because that's going to be, yep. And that's Wade Boggs. If you look, it's all warped and bent out of shape. The last few cards and the first few cards in all of these boxes tend to get the worst of the damage. They get the brunt of it. All right, well, we got that Wade Boggs. I just sat down in the big stack because that's just going to go in my common card pile. Team pack stuff. Got Wade Boggs, Jerome Walton, Pat Clements, Walt Weiss, Mark Davis, Frankie V. Ooh, Ricky, very nice. Record breaker. Now, gotta wonder about that, because not supposed to have any partial blacklist here, but that R is like really sketch. Gotta wonder. I don't think that's one of the ones though. Vizquel, Eddie Murray, nice. Bucky Dent, Yankees manager for about 15 minutes. John Wetland, all right, I mentioned his rookie card. That's his rookie card. He's like, looks like he's pitching next to a storage unit. Ozzie Guillen, Jeff Ballard, Jose Canseco, Carney Lansford. Oh, and what do? You know, it's time to celebrate the checklist. We always celebrate the checklists here. Tony Gwynn, Luis Salazar, and Earl Cunningham. All right, let's get these out and get to the next stack. Tim Drummond, Wally Whitehurst, El Cid. All right, record breaker, that's Cal Ripken. Yep. Wade Boggs, okay, got another Wade Boggs All-Star. Don Assey, Steve Buscemi, Walt Weiss, Chet Lemon, Frankie V again. And we got ourselves another Ricky. Greenwell, Seitzer, Omar Vizquel. Cool card there. Eddie Murray. All right, Julio Machado. Bucky Dent. Looks like we've seen these already. Why? Canseco, Sparky Anderson. Okay, we haven't seen that one. Now, PSA 10 on that, $200. I think I mentioned that. Now, how close are we? I don't know. I think I'm going to measure that out later, but I'm going to at least frapper and top-loady that so I can look at it later. Eric Palunk. And what do we got now? We got ourselves another checklist. Celebrate the checklist. Celebrate our checklist. Checklist. Joe gives me migraines. Tony Gwynn. Luis Salazar. Earl Cunningham again. And one more time, we got a checklist. Checklist. All right. Todd Froworth, Pat Tabler, and Gary Carter. Wow. Whole stack of Hall of Famers there. Let's handle that little part still. Fernando Valenzuela. It's Fernando Mania all over again. Got Tom Glavine. All right. Another Hall of Famer there. Jim Leland. Brett Saberhagen. Rock Reigns. Stoudemire. Tony Gwynn. Ken Griffey. Senior, that is. Ricky. All right. Ricky Henderson. Ricky Henderson card. Very nice. Not in the top 10 of values in 1990. Got Oral Hershiser, Greg Vaughan, Future Star, Fernandez, Tim Wallach, Tommy Helms, and we got ourselves another Ripken. All right, we got a whole mess of cards to frapper up here. Now, this one's going to go into a top-loady because it looks like it might be a little bit off left to right. Let me know if you see it a little bit off. I'm going to measure it out later. But if it is, well, then I'm just going to take it out of my top loady, throw it back into the common stack, and go from there. Because, you know, if it's not, then it's like $2 in a PSA 9. And, yeah, you know, I definitely make no secret about it. I will flip cards. If something is gradable, I will definitely think about putting it in the pile to get graded. Because you know what? If I could flip them, rip them, flip them, collect what you love, if that, you know what? Okay, let's just do the math, okay? If I get one of the specials and it costs $15 to grade, and I send that in with 10 other cards, okay? Or 12 other cards or 15 other, or whatever. Okay, $15, okay? And let's consider a couple dollars for shipping, okay? So $17 total. The card basically cost me nothing. I mean, what? 2 cents, I think, for the, you know, based on the price I paid for this brick. So 2 cents. Okay, so we're talking 2 cents. Let's jack that all the way up to $1. Okay, so you're talking grading and shipping, and the cost of the card, $18. And if it sells for $200, you know what? That right there buys you a good chunk of the 1975 set. That's for sure. It buys you a really nice chunk of the 78 set. I don't have to worry about the 79 set because I already got that on the shelf. Don't got to worry about I didn't show off yet. There's a bunch of other sets that I definitely need to show y'all that I picked up in the last couple weeks and months that are awesome, incredible. Ones that I remember putting together, hand collated in my childhood. But so right now I'd say I'm more concentrating on sets from the 70s than I am from the 80s. Although there's a couple in the 80s I might not mind grabbing, that's for sure. I mean, you could grab a couple $100. I think you'd definitely be able to do the 89 Upper Deck, wouldn't you? I mean, not perfect condition, and it might not be. Yeah, if you squeeze it, it might be a couple hundred. I mean, the Griffey Jr. in there is the big card. Everything else is minor, but that's the big one. All right, lots of Hall of Famers. This Wall of Fame is absolutely stacking up. Now, I probably should have put the Glavin in a top loader also. He's hiding back there, because that's another one. I should have thought about that. You know what? I'm not going to deal with that now. I'm going to deal with it after, because I don't want to start knocking other ones down. But for right now, Sparky Anderson, you can manage this entire team. I mean, I know you had some great teams in your career, but this right here might be one of the better ones, okay? I mean, weren't you like managing the Big Red Machine for a bit? No wonder you're so cranky sitting on the Tigers. All right, let's get this huge stack out here. And maybe move these around a little bit so they don't just like slide and bounce all over the place. All right. Oh, look at that. Well, I got to show that one to you. That one came out. That one came out of this box right there. So I guess that's going to be the first thing I look at, because it's there. Now, that looks very, very nice and perfectly centered in my eyes. So he's going to go into a frapper and a top load almost right away. Got Kelly Gruber. And right after that, we got Griffey Jr. So very sweet. Bang, bang. Craig Worthington, Dickie Stang, Oil Can Boyd, Bergman, Dunston, Brett Butler, Tommy Herr, John Kruk, Apier, and Steve Sachs. All right. Now let's get these two frappered up and top loaded. Again, these two look super, super sharp. And centering on the Griffey looks very much spot on. What do you think? I think so. I think so. That's a very nice looking Griffey. And again, the drop off from a 10 to a 9 is insane. 394 to 13. So if it's not a 10, if it's not even thought to be close to a 10, don't even bother. Don't even bother, that's for sure. Same thing I'd say with the Frank Thomas. I mean, in a 10, it's only $57 because so many of them have been sent in. So I mean, the pop count on that compared to the collector count is definitely a bad ratio. All right, let's get that in there. Still gonna top load it, because you know what? If it's a 10, I don't see why I would not. I mean, I gotta measure it and take it under the magnifying glass to make sure it's all kosher. But we'll see. All right, we got Frank Williams, Moses. Oh, Moses, definitely. You know what? We could just put the Red Sea there. All right, let's see. Darling, Charlie Hayes, Mike the Sharp Person, future star, not really, but future decent, Mickey Weston, Juan Berenguera, Quisenberry, Willie Randolph. Up, our first Nolan. All right, we got ourselves a Nolan Ryan there. Now they got the whole Nolan Ryan special here, so that's cool. Got Eckersley, very cool. Alvarez, Strawberry. All right, I always put Strawberry up on the wall. All right, we got the Nolan Ryan Angels card. That's very cool. Harold Baines. Ruffin. Bob Rogers. Duck Dodgers in the 24th and a half century. Haha. All right, let's get some more up on the box before we continue. Ozzie Smith, okay. Mike Marshall, Danny Cox, Don Zimmer, Pedro Guerrero. Now you see again the Strawberry, even in a 9, you're talking $20-25. So he definitely gets a frapper and a loadie. He gets loaded. Willie McGee, Barry Larkin, Hal Morris, Jim Rice, Doc Gooden, Bryn Smith. People are strange. Jim LaFay, Kirby Puckett. All right, Steve Cummings, Marvin Freeman, Lenny Dykstra, Eric Anthony, Rick Rodin, Randy St. Clair, Roger Craig. Yeah, that thunderstorm is making somebody's car go beep, beep, beep. It's been going since like, oh, wow, over an hour. We had a major storm pass through here, and yeah, that car's been just hunky the whole time. Like it shuts down for a few minutes and then starts up again and shuts down and starts off. I don't know. Back in the day, we used to worry about our battery dying if that happened, and I do wonder. I don't even know whose car it is. All right, that Jim Rice is definitely very badly centered, but it is what it is. Barry Larkin. A huge stack on the wall, that's for sure. I mean, what are we going to end up with, like 100 Hall of Famers in this box? That's one of the reasons junk wax is really good. I mean, honestly, you're going to get lots of Hall of Famers, and getting Hall of Famers and inexpensive. If you're just a baseball fan, now that's one way to go. You can take a look on my eBay or Mercari account as well, where I have a Hall of Fame pack where I stick either 50 or 100 Hall of Famers into a pack for a price. If I'm not mistaken, I currently have the 50 Hall of Famer one up at, I think, $10 plus shipping. And if you get multiples, I'll either throw in free shipping or throw in an extra one or whatever else it might be. And it's a similar price that I have on Mercari as well. I think it's 50. It might be 100. I don't remember exactly. Y'all can take a look at my eBay. I'll post a link down below so you can see. All right, we got the Eck as well. And the Nolan Ryan saying bye-bye, see you later. All right, let's get this next stack going. All right, David Conehead, Swindell, Davey Johnson, George Brett, another Hall of Famer there. And we got the Mets years, Nolan Ryan. Sweet. Mookie Wilson. Wally World Joyner. Dick Hauser turned back the clock. We haven't seen too many of the turn back the clocks yet. Joe Girardi, when he was still playing with the Cubbies. Willie Wilson. Mike Smith. Roberto Alomar, another Hall of Famer there. Mike Schmidt turned back there. As soon as I say we haven't seen too many, we're going to see another turn back the clock. Gagne, Marquis Grissom, Smoltzy. All right, very cool. Another Hall of Famer there. Mark Grace, great Cubby. Freddie Lynn, 1975, turned back the clock. I know those colors. Except that he wasn't alone in a card there. He was part of the 4-player card thing. Danny Heap. And Andres Thomas wrapping that one up. All right, let's get this last little part of the stack going. Then we'll pull out the last cards in there after we frapper these up and get the other ones back in there. Andy Hawkins, Tanana Banana. Mike Davis, Julio Franco. And what do we get to do? We get to celebrate another checklist. Celebrate the checklist. Eric Davis, beast back then. He was beast power. He was really a great player. All right, Sparky Anderson. Now, this one, compared to the other one that I have up there, you can very, very quickly and easily see that the centering is off. So I'm going to bypass him. And there goes to Frank Robinson. Now, I don't even know if that would qualify as a 9, because right to left is off a little bit, but that top to bottom is completely sketchy. So I'm going to pass that one by. I think that's a better thing. Edgar Martinez there. David Wells. Oh, and what do we got again? We have another checklist. We got a whole box of checklists. Jones. Rick Cerrone. Scotty Bales. Jack Armstrong. Tony Gwynn, All-Star. Ken Griffey, Sr. again. Dave Martinez. Maybe that means it's going to be another junior. All right, we got the Cal Ripken. Now, that one doesn't look too shabby. Centering on that looks almost, I could be wrong, but the right to left looks a little bit off. I'm going to frapper it and take a look later, but that one looks a little bit off. Just a smidge. If it is, it's going to go back in a pack. All right, got all of those done. Now, let's frapper the Ripken and then top load it. And then I'll measure it out later during my not so free time, because when you're a Bunkle and you're a dad and you're spouse to Mrs. Bunkle and all of that, there's not much free time. So That's one of those things that does not really exist much. I get to share cards with y'all, and then I get to list stuff on eBay. You know, that's free time. Yeah, making money that I do during my free time. During my not free time, well, what do I do? I don't know. I Anyway, that's one of those things. I got the Mike Schmidt Turn Back the Clock, Robbie Alomar. And actually thinking about it, all my time is free time. Because even doing stuff for Mrs. Bunkle, that's stuff I choose to do. Because, you know, I'm Mr. Bunkle. And doing stuff for the nieces and nephews that make me Bunkle, well, that's part of what a Bunkle is. And being dad, you know, not Bunkle, but dad, yeah, that's another big thing. So all of those are very important parts of life. It's called family life. That's for sure. And I definitely can appreciate it. It's a good thing. All right, there we go. Got all of those. Now let's empty this out. Okay, got all of those out. And we can put these back in. Big, huge stacks of cards on the side here. All just ready to topple down. And that's going to be the end of the 1990 brick opening. Get all of those back in there. All of those back in there. All right. Let's see. Get that over to there. And let's see what's in our last little pile here. I think we're going to have some more great stuff. What do you think? I think we're going to have another checklist. Well, what do we have? What do we get? I think 6? I don't know. When I review this video later, I think we have 6 or 7 checklists. Ooh, there's some flippage. Did I do that, or were they in there flipped? No, that was like that. Wow, okay. Lonnie Smith, Johnny Bench turned back the clock. Put that up there. Move that a little bit more over here so you could see what I see. Rags, okay. Claudel Washington. All right, we got another Nolan Ryan. Bob Welch. Jose Oquendo. Koufax turned back the clock. Tim Leary. Yeah, we got more flippage going on there. Barry Bonds, okay. Bonds, pretty cool. Vince Coleman. All right, Rich Yet. Now, what happened here? Why are these cards flipped inside the box? That's weird. Tom O'Malley, Mitch Williams, Lee Smith, okay. Rob Murphy, Neon Dion, all right, very cool. Now, is that his rookie? I think it's his, or no, 89 actually was, but yeah, 89 was, yeah. Yeah, I had to think about that one. Barry Jones and Jeffrey Leonard, okay. Now, yeah, that's, you could see the curvature of the cards there from the box. It's interesting. I guess I'm going to put those back in there in, like, the way that they were in the box. I think that's a better idea. They were flipped. Let them stay flipped out. Okay. We got Ripken, another Ripken All-Star, Louis Soho. Kevin Seabass, Delino DeShields. Billy Ripken Light, Tim Loudner. Brian Clutterbuck. Will the Thrill, Sandy Alomar, John Cerruti, Saberhagen, Sid Bream, Sandberg. Okay, we got a Sandberg finally. Did not see him yet today. Greg Maddox. All right. And this last little stack to wrap us up. Dave Parker should be Hall of Fame. BGO. Steve Davis. I know a few people that have his name. Rob Dibble. Dan Murphy, okay, and Bob Guerin, Greg Olson, Randy Milligan, and finishing it up, Ken Oberkfell. Well, that finishes up all of those, so we just got to get these into some frappers to finish it up. But like I said, lots of great cards. I mean, some of them in awesome shape. That George Brett, the Cal Ripken, who else? The Sparky Anderson. I'd say all of those are potential gradable. The Glavin, I'd say so. The Frank Robinson, not as much, although it's a shame because that would have been a nice one. So he just stood in the stack. The Frank Thomas, of course, was the one with his name on it, and it didn't look like any kind of partial blacklist to me. I got to take a better look at it because maybe there's something I don't know about with those, but I thought partial blacklist meant that no name on front, but maybe there's another variety that they found. That could be. All right, got Lee Smith, and of course, that's according to PSAcard.com. Now, there were a bunch of cards that have been found, and it's all from the same sheet. And there were who knows how many of those copies of that sheet printed, where they had like basically a smudge where the black ink, or they were running out of black ink or something like that, or they had to clean the press, or don't know the full exact story there, but for some reason you could see it going across the page, across the sheet of cards, how it's missing. Some of the cards are missing black there and there, others it's missing it here. It's really weird, but I mean, you could see the full print there, and a bunch got out, and of course the famous one being the Frank Thomas no name on front. But now that I saw on PSAcard.com that there's a partial blacklist one, I think there's something else there. Okay, Johnny Bench, you get some rest. You don't want to stand up. You got a different curvature than the rest of them. All right, well, this was definitely fun. Like I was saying, lots of great cards were in this. I think we easily emptied 100 cards out of that box. Maybe not 100, but 60 to 70, I'd say. So, all in all, definitely fun. I hope y'all enjoyed. I definitely did have fun opening these. Breaking this brick today. As I was saying, y'all take care. Stay well. Stay blessed. Oh, and if you have not yet subscribed yet, make sure you do. Bunkle out.